Hello, it's Randy Duck, and we're back again for another replay. This time I have two replays for you in the Tier 9 Chinese Tech Tree Medium Tank. And you know, you've probably seen on my channel, I have been going up this line, and I've had videos up at the Tier 7 and the Tier 8, and now we're on the Tier 9. As I said in the other replays, this is a line that has a lot of stick. It's kind of renowned for not being very good. But so far my experiences of the 7 and the 8, if you use the correct gun, they're quite decent. I really enjoy playing those. But we've got onto the 9. Now the 9 isn't, it's definitely nowhere near as good as playing the 8 or the 7 in my opinion. However, if you use the 100mm gun, it's a lot more enjoyable. But this is my opinion, but this is what I've noticed. It's a lot more enjoyable than playing the 122mm gun, because the 122mm gun, it only has 3 degrees of gun depression. So you have 440 alpha, but you only get that 3 degrees of gun depression. Now if you use the 100mm gun, you then get 5 degrees of gun depression. You only have the 320 alpha, but obviously a lot better DPM. But that extra 200 degrees gun depression makes a big difference in my opinion. It makes it a lot more enjoyable to play, because with 5 degrees, yeah, it's not great, is it? 5 degrees is not brilliant, but it's a hell of a lot bigger than 3 degrees. Honestly, it just makes it feel like the difference between 3 and 5 is big. And like I said, even with this gun, it's still not a brilliant tank. I'm not going to sell it to you. It's not a great one, but it's just a lot more enjoyable to play. Now, I just think this gun, when you play it with this gun, it's just a lot better. When I played it with the bigger gun with the 430 alpha, the aim time's horrible, and honestly, it was really frustrating to play. It was just, I did not enjoy it one bit. But playing it with this gun, like I say, it's not the best tank, not the best medium tank at all, but it's just, I can play it and it doesn't feel that painful. So you can see here, I'm still struggling with the gun depression, but at least I've got, the 3 degrees I'd had no chance, because I had to have properly got up on that ridge. So yeah, on with the replay. We're on Overlord. They've obviously done the typical beach push with the most of their tanks, but we've realised that earlier. We've turned around and we're going back to deal with the guys here. Now this tank does have a very good turret, so if you're able to get a hold down, you've got a good chance of ricocheting some shells off of the turret. It is a little bit sluggish for a medium. It's not ridiculously slow, but it just feels a little bit painful to move around. But yes, we've got to take care of this Polish tank. Once we've taken care of him, we've got a tortoise. Now obviously the tortoise has got crazy DPM, but he is right there, he's by himself now in an awkward situation. We go for the tracking shot, and which allows us to get behind him. Now he's never getting out of this situation. I'm able to keep him tracked in place, and farming the assistance now and getting the damage. Now I think my team's going to kill him before I reload. Well, that's what I thought was going to happen. And yeah, they sort of maybe I would have got the kill, but I didn't want to slow myself down. I wanted to keep moving on and get into the next bit of damage, because we're looking ahead of us. We can see where we want to go now. We've got this our Polish heavies sort of fighting these 2 TDs. I'm going to try and get up behind them in the hope that maybe I can track them. Obviously, like this, WZ-120, he's the last one alive there now. If I do manage to get behind him, then I'll be able to kill him. But as we move over, we spotted the Thumb Police, haven't we? He's trying to hide in the water there, trying to be crafty and hide behind the ship. But we've got a very small shot, and we managed to go straight through and take him out. So now, already, this is turning into be an okay game. We've got almost 4k damage. We've got 1,000, or just under 1,000 assistance. And there's 2 tanks left. I'm hoping that maybe this TD will be healthy, and he is actually healthy. He's very healthy. He's full health. So I'm thinking this is good. If I can just get behind him, if our heavy tank can stay alive long enough for me to get behind him, then I'll be able to track him in place. Now you see he's just shot down our friendly heavy tank there, so I know he's shot. I know I've got a bit of time now to try and close the distance. I go for a shot into the drivers, track him in place. We do track him in place, which is brilliant. Now we've got behind him, and we're going to try and test his repair crew and see if we can just keep him tracked in place. And it does look like he hasn't got a brilliant crew, and we're able to keep him permanent tracked now. So at this point, yeah, there's no escape for him, is it? We're just going to try and kill him before that medium tank gets to us. We've got a good chance of setting him on fire here, because that's just where his engine is. And as you see, we do. We pen him, track him in place. Now he's burning, and now we'll have to just almost 6k damage. So it'd be great if we could just get one more pen into this medium tank which is left, just to get over the mark onto the 6k, and that will turn into be quite a nice little game. And there we go, he's coming at me, he's coming at me quickly. I struggled to get my gun down. He's got behind me because I've got all the hit points in the world here. It really doesn't matter if he shoots me, so I'm just going to come in, put a shot into him, try and ram him, turn him round, and yeah, see if I can get my reload in to get the kill. Unfortunately I don't, but I've got a little bit of extra damage in, and that's just about it for the first replay. So all that's left is to see how we got on. So we picked up 3 kills, 6,132 damage, just almost 1,000 assistance. We got the high caliber, and we got the ace tanker. So that's it for the first replay. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in a bit for the second replay. Hello, so we're back again for the second and final replay, and we are on the beautiful map of Westfield, and we're platooned up with the one and only Swindle 321. He's in the T49 dirt light tank, and yeah, I mean, we're on the south spawn. You could say it's not as good as the other spawn, but to be honest with you, they're both decent. And yeah, I mean, Westfield is a great map, and we are very, very top tier. So, first thing I'm going to do is crash into his house. The second thing I'm going to do is move on and try and get into position. So, obviously, this is one of those games actually where I've just really enjoyed playing the game. It was one where I'm with Swindle in a platoon, but it's one of the games, because sometimes when you're in a platoon, you just do your own thing. We still have good games. But this is one where we actually really work together, and they're always quite fun ones to do. So he's in the light tank. He's obviously going to try and spot up anything crossing to allow me to get shots in and allow, well, just to get himself some assistance. Now he's obviously, they have enemy light tanks as well, and I think he keeps getting lit up, so he's playing more of a sort of an aggressive scout for a lot of this, where he sort of keeps moving. But you see that he's managed to get himself in a bush, and I'm able to give him a little bit of assistance damage. And yeah, this is just a scenario, because obviously I don't have that great camo and I'm in a medium tank. I'm going to stay a little bit further back, but because I've got Swindle spotting for me, I don't have to worry. I know that he's going to be able to communicate with me, and he's going to tell me when he's being able to light stuff. So at the moment I'm fairly comfortable, fairly happy, just for him to spot and me to get damage in. As you see, like, I'm kind of aware, but we've got no presence on the other side of the map. So there is going to come a point in this game where we're going to have to, probably defend the base. So what I really want to happen is for us to dominate this side and clear the guys off of their ridge on this side, so that we can still use this ridge to get shots into them. Otherwise we'll get shot, while we're trying to defend the base, we may get shot in the back from these guys. So this Lover's been spotted up, and he's right in the open, so I'm able to put a few shots into him. He's obviously going to have a nasty time there, but fortunately for him, he does get, he manages to sort of get unlit, so I couldn't get any more shots into him. But the Scorpion G's been spotted up now, so I'm just going to put a few more shots into him. And you can see I'm already up to 2k damage, so it's been a pretty decent start to the game. But it's getting a little bit cagey now, because you can see they're pushing in down into our base. So this is an awkward situation, because I'm going to have to try and poke up here to get a few shots in. Now in hindsight, this is probably a mistake, because like I say, we didn't manage to clear the tanks on the other side of the ridge, and I'm now getting shot at, easy shots for them. So I'm going to have to just get out of here now, go down this ridge as quickly as I can, keep my turret facing them for the most part, just in case I'll probably bounce a shot. And I'm going to have to go up this way to defend, because if I go up this way, there's a good chance the enemy team won't be able to get shots into me anymore, and I'll be able to defend the base. So we're popping up, and this is the sort of mistake the enemy team has made here. They've got overconfident, and what they could have done, like this AMX-30, he could have stayed at the top and put me under some real pressure, but because he's moved down into the cap and tried to cap out, it's kind of an easy kill for us. So that's a mistake of just thinking like, oh, we'll just cap out. You know, if you've got someone who who knows exactly what they're doing and realises, you know, who's got a bit of map awareness, they can just go back and you're sitting ducks sitting in that cap. So fortunately for us, they did go into the cap and that allowed us to kill them. Because like I say, if they all stayed up the top here, they could have made our life very awkwardly. We would have been pinned in. But you know, for us, they didn't do that. They went in the cap, and now we can push up and try and get rid of these guys. We put one shot in, putting this a medium on a one shot. Now it is a bit trolly. You see, I put my shell straight through the lower plate, which should have killed him. Unfortunately, it didn't hit there. It went up into his sort of upper hull armour, which is actually pretty decent in that tank. It's got very trolly armour. It's got a very small lower plate. So yeah, we missed a shot there, which meant we had to eat a shell, which is annoying. But we now got time to kill this T28. You see the fun police going for me there. You just missed, thankfully. So now I'm just going to try and move about, get unspotted, because if I get lit in this location, the Artie can actually, he's got quite easy shell shots into me here, so I have to be careful now. But like I say, this is where it comes, this is where the platoon play comes in, because I've got Swindle down a light. So although we're in a losing situation at the moment, we're in a sort of 4v6, we've got the vision, so as long as Swindle can like spot these guys, and I was sort of saying to him at this sort of point, if you manage to keep the guys lit on this side of the ridge, then I will be able to farm your assistance, because I've got good shots into them at the moment as they cross. So we put a little bit of punishment into them there. We've got over 3.5k assistance, and now we're on a 3 versus 6. But like I say, this is why it's always important to, light tanks are at come end game like this. Light tanks are very, very powerful. This replay, by the way, you might have even seen under Swindle's sort of perspective of the game, because it was done on stream. We was both on stream in this game, so if you have watched it, it might be quite interesting just to see it under my sort of perspective. But yeah, so we're in a 3 versus 6, but I'm in no real panic mode at the moment. While they're on the other side of the ridge, it's ideal because they're not going to spot me and Swindle's going to spot them. So I'll be able to farm damage. You see, when he does, he just completely derped that Scorpion there. That was quite a good little shot. And yeah, I'm just trying to get shots in basically. We can see this Lovers is starting to fall back. So I'm just sort of making a mental note of that, because it's always good just to remember where tanks have gone, because information really is key. This T30 thinks he's held down, but there is a tiny bit of shot for me to get into him, and I do manage to pick up a shot. You can see his Iron Rain's obviously got dirty camo, so he can be a bit, he's a dangerous tank if he catches us unaware. But this Lover, he makes a mistake of trying to cross the bridge, which realistically, when you had a light tank there, he was always going to get spotted. So that was a bit of a mistake by him, but it's good for me because I can get a few shots into him, and we set him on fire as well, so that is a lovely result. So now we're on just over 5k damage, so we're having a really good game, and this Scorpion G gets spotted, and now he's taken out. I'm feeling very confident because I know where everything is bar the RT now. I know the Lover's moved over to this side of the ridge, I know the T30 and Iron Rain are on the other side of the ridge, so this means, knowing that, all I need to do now is go and kill this Lover, because if we go and kill him, if the two TDs then move on and sit in our cap, we're in a light tank and a medium, we're going to have enough time to get back and get a reset. So ultimately, if they do sit in the cap, it'll probably be easier for us because we know exactly where they are. So we're just going to go and take out this Lover wires by itself. You see I've got a clear shot on the side of this turret. Now that was very unlucky. 9 times out of 10 I would have killed him there, but a bit of bad RMG means I don't, and that's a bit awkward. Now I'm lit for longer than I want to be because obviously there's fun police in the game. So we're going to move around and try and get a shot, but Swindle shuts him down, and now I'm just going to try and get out of there, get unlit, because while I'm unlit, obviously I can't get killed by the RT. Now I think at this point Swindle said to me that I'm just going to go and take care of the RT, then he'll come back and light these TDs, and we can just kill them. I'm heading back to our base because I've got my suspicions that they're going to be moving in and trying to get into our cap. So I want to get as close as I can to the cap to allow me to get the shots into them if they do that. So obviously Swindle's gone to take care of the RE. Once the fun police is out of the game, then we can deal with the other guys. But, you know, as I predicted, one of the tanks has now got into the cap. So if it's the Iron Rain, he's going to outspot me all day long. I'm trying to move over and see if I can spot anything in the cap. I've got to be a little bit careful because obviously I don't want to get caught out and die at this, this stage. Now we do get lit, so I'm going to get straight behind these wrecks. You see something's looking at me right now. I feel pretty confident here that I've got a good turret armour. Chances of them getting the shot through there will be really slim. So I'm just going to stay behind here for a little bit. As I say, Swindle's now moving over. If he can light them in the cap, then I'll be able to farm them from here. I'm not panicking yet because there's still a minute on the clock, so we've got lots of time. And now we've spotted the T30, so we know he's in the cap at the moment. We still don't know where the Iron Rain's, but we're kind of thinking maybe the Iron Rain is covering him. So we do have to be a little bit careful. That's why Swindle's gone the long way round up here, because he thinks if he spots the Iron Rain, we know where he is. But now, the pressure's on because the Iron Rain's jumped in the cap, and we've only got 14 seconds to get there. But as we come around, we spot this T30, aiming in the shot, we hit it, we get the reset, pressure's off now, and Swindle shuts him down. So now it's just me and Swindle versus Iron Rain. I'm pretty confident at this stage. I'm going to lose the spot. I'm going to start moving in, because if he does put 2 shots into me, I know Swindle's going to take him out, vice versa. So he's got no shots into me here, so I'm just going to move up, get as close as I can. Swindle, I think, is going in for the kill. But like I say, all I need this Iron Rain to do is sort of shoot a couple of shots. If he shoots 2, he can't kill me. So Swindle got shut down, leaving the Iron Rain for me. Now I'm asking him how many shots he's shot. At this point he goes, he's shot 2. Well, he's shot at least 2. So I know at this point, worst case scenario, he can only put 1 shot into me, which isn't enough to kill me. So we're just going to come around and take him out. And that is the end of the game. So yeah, all that's left is to see the results, to see how we got on. As you can see, we had a very good game. Swindle had a very good game as well. It was one where we worked really well together. Obviously, Swindle's picked up the Radleys. I've got 3 kills, 6,000 damage, 1,000 assistance, a Defender Medal, the High Caliber, the Ace Tanker. So yeah, it was a really good game. And as you see, I think Swindle actually picks up, just over 4.5k assistance. A lot of that was from me. So yeah, it was one of those ones where it was just great to have Swindle in the light tank spotting for me. It was just a fun game because we was working together, and they're the ones they're the ones which I think, I do actually really like this game still. When you get those moments where you get to work together, and it's just it's fun when that happens. Anyway, so yeah, it's basically about 7k combined, quite a decent game. And as always, people, I'm going to leave you there, and happy tanking.